Welcome to Hockey Canada's Skill Development Series. In this, the sixth part of our series, we'll look at the fundamentals of defensive tactics. As soon as the team with the puck loses possession, it must react quickly to play defense. And the most important fundamental skill essential to playing sound defense is skating. Combining strong skating with effective read and react skills is key to shutting down opposing players in any defensive situation. In this DVD, we'll show you defensive tactics for individual players as well as team defensive tactics in the offensive zone, the neutral zone, and the defensive zone. Although hockey is a spontaneous and free-flowing game, similar defensive situations will occur over and over again. It's the ability to recognize these situations and respond with the proper tactics that makes good players great defenders. Individual defensive tactics are a combination of skating, balance and agility, and checking skills that can be used to prevent an attacking player from generating a scoring chance. Mastering these fundamental technical skills, combined with reading and reacting, makes for effective defensive play. Nothing can be more frustrating for an offensive player than trying to attack against a defender that has taken away all the offensive options. The individual defensive tactics shown here will give any player a set of tools that, when used effectively, will help nullify almost every offensive threat.
Forward skating. Skating is important in all aspects of the game. Not only should defensive players know how to perform glide turns, tight turns, stop and start skating, and control skating. They need to be able to use all of these skating skills at high speed to always be in position to take away offensive opportunities. Backward skating. Regardless of which position they play, all players should be strong backward skaters. Being able to perform a backward start, quickly get to top speed, and move laterally are keys to playing the rush and steering attackers away from the prime scoring areas. Changing directions. Being able to quickly change direction gives a defender the advantage of maintaining close contact with an attacker. Pivoting, transitional skating, and turning are keys to maintaining optimal defensive gap while limiting offensive opportunities. Positioning. To properly defend the net, defenders should align their bodies with the bodies of their opponents. So when the puck carrier attacks from the outside, the defender here assumes an inside position with his outside shoulder aligned with the puck carrier's inside shoulder. When the opponent is attacking down the middle, the defender assumes a head-on position. Whenever possible, the defender should attempt to force the puck carrier to the outside, away from the mid lane and high percentage scoring areas. Redirecting the rush. Defenders should learn to read the opposing rush and put themselves in position to steer or direct the rush in a direction they want it to go. In this example, the defender uses inside body and stick positioning to steer the attacker toward the boards and away from the prime scoring area. Pinching. When defenders in the opposing zone think they can either keep the puck in the zone or separate the attacker from the puck, they can perform a pinch by stepping up inside the opposition blue line. Gap control. Gap literally refers to the distance between the defender and the attacker. Through controlled skating, the defender should try to maintain an optimal gap of no more than 2 stick lengths away from the attacker. Now, if the defender plays further away from the attacker, or what is called loose gap, the defender is giving away the middle lane of the ice. On the other hand, if the defender plays too close or tight gap, the attacker can take advantage of the outside lane. Closing the gap. When applying pressure on a puck carrier, it's important for the defender to maintain close contact by closing the gap between himself and the puck carrier. Effectively closing the gap depends on the defender's ability to change speeds and reposition quickly in response to the puck carrier's actions. Ideally, the defender should close the gap as quickly as possible while still maintaining his speed. Stepping up. When defenders commit to checking an opposing player, they are stepping up. If the defending player sees that the puck carrier has limited offensive options or has poor control of the puck, the defender should step up and make the check. Pressure or contain. Deciding on whether to pressure the puck carrier or simply contain him depends on that player's body positioning and how well he's controlling the puck. Here, the puck carrier has good control of the puck and is facing the defender, so the defender should elect to contain him. On the other hand, if the puck carrier has his back to the play or loses control of the puck, the defender should pressure the puck carrier to try and take the puck away. Angling. Angling is one of the first lines of defense. Players can either angle opponents in the direction they want them to go, or skate in an arc slightly behind the puck carrier to gradually reduce the puck carrier's available space. Defenders should skate with their sticks outstretched to help angle off the puck carrier and to take away passing lanes. Pinning. Pinning is a great way for defenders to maintain physical control of an offensive player. Here, the defender angles the puck carrier toward the boards and pins him. Using his hands to control the puck carrier's hips and placing his leg between the puck carrier's legs, the defender completely limits the puck carrier's ability to engage in the play. Body checking. Using a body check is the most effective way to literally separate an offensive player from the puck. A well-executed body check can still keep the defender in good position, even if the check itself doesn't result in a turnover. Finishing checks. Players should learn that once they've committed to a check, they need to continue to skate through that check. Here, by finishing the check, the defender has ensured that even though he may have been beaten by a pass, his opponent will not be able to engage in the play. Tracking. Tracking is used by a back checker who is following the play while coming back into the defensive zone. Here, the back checker is tracking between the dots, looking to take away cross-ice passes. At the point of crossing the red line, the tracking player should read the situation and then pick up the attacker that poses the greatest offensive threat. Backside pressure. When back checkers skate hard back into their own zone and put pressure on the puck, they are applying backside pressure. Creating this pressure forces the attacking team to move toward the outside of the ice, making it easier for the defenseman to break up the attack. Head on a swivel. Defenders should always be aware of the location of the puck carrier, as well as the opposing players that do not have the puck. Defenders can protect against a backside attack by using the head on a swivel technique. Here, moving his head from side to side, the defender stays aware of the opposing forwards, putting himself in good position to provide tighter coverage on opponents attacking the net. Sagging. When the puck is deep in the defensive zone, the defenders responsible for the opponents furthest away from the puck should sag or drop down toward the puck. Defenders should sag if they see an opportunity to regain possession. Sagging also adds defensive support in the prime scoring area. Stick in passing lane. Keeping the stick in the passing lane is a key tactic that defenders can use to take away an attacker's options. As shown here, the defender can either put his stick on the attacker's stick or into the lane where the attacker is trying to pass the puck. Active stick. An active stick can be a distraction for the attacker because it keeps the attacker guessing. Basically, moving the stick as shown here can effectively take away some of the attacker's passing options. Body in shooting lane. To decrease the opposing team's opportunities to score, defensive players should position themselves in the lane between the net and the shooter. By doing this, the defender forces the attacker to move laterally to find an alternative lane to the net. Shot block, standing. When defenders are in the shooting lane, they must be prepared to block a shot. Now, as we can see here, to block a shot while standing, the defender keeps her feet together and her body square to the shooter. Shot block, sliding. Sliding to block a shot is one of the few times during a game when players will intentionally leave their feet. Here, the defender slides on her legs directly toward the shooter's stick. When performed correctly, The sliding shot block should result in the puck hitting the defender's shin pads. Play non-puck carrier. Take away pass. Against a 2-on-1 rush, defensive players may opt to play between the puck carrier and the non-puck carrier, taking away the passing option and forcing the puck carrier to shoot. The goaltender should read this positioning and play the shooter. Play puck carrier with pressure. Here is another option when defending against a 2-on-1. The defensive player moves laterally and pressures the puck carrier, forcing him to rush the pass. The goalie reads the defensive pressure and moves laterally to play the shot.
Losing control of the puck in the offensive zone as a result of a turnover causes the team that was attacking to suddenly switch to defense. Teams switching to defense in the offensive zone must react immediately by covering the open players and establishing forechecking pressure. Ultimately, the goal of the defenders should be to create a turnover of their own, to regain possession before the opposition can move out of its own zone.
Role of F1. The first forward, or F1, entering the offensive zone is responsible for cutting the ice in half by angling the offensive player to one side of the ice. If it's possible, the defender should force the attacker out wide on the backhand to limit the attacker's offensive options. Role of F2. Here, the second forward, F2, enters the offensive zone and reads the play from mid-ice. F2 now moves in behind F1 in a position of support. Role of F3. The primary role of the third forward entering the zone, or F3, is to stay high between the top of the circle and the blue line. Here, by staying high, F3 is able to maintain positioning between the puck and her own net. Role of D1. Here, the first defenseman, or D1, moves up ice quickly, maintaining optimal gap with the offensive forwards. By staying on the puck side of the ice, the defenseman is in good position to either play the rush or pinch if a turnover occurs inside the blue line. Role of D2. The second defenseman also moves up ice quickly. Mid-ice positioning for D2 is essential in taking away long seam passes and being available as offensive support on a possible turnover.
Once the opposing team has gained possession of the puck and is breaking out of its own zone, the defensive team must limit the offense's time and space to negate any advantage in the neutral zone. Using a combination of individual and team tactics in the neutral zone, the defensive team must work together to prevent the offensive team from entering the defensive zone.
Role of F1. When forechecking in the neutral zone, F1 should establish inside-out positioning to take away the D-to-D pass. Skating in an inside-out pattern forces the offensive team to play the puck up the wall. Role of F2. Here, the second forward on the forecheck mirrors F1's actions and either jumps up or moves to support if the puck is played up the boards. Role of F3. Players assuming the role of F3 in the neutral zone are responsible for staying between the puck and their own net. Now, depending on the system that the defensive team is playing, F3 should be positioned either in the middle lane for support or in the wide lane to take away the outside option. Role of D1. When forechecking in the neutral zone, D1 should be on the puck side of the ice. If there is strong defensive support, D1 can choose to step up and force the attackers to make a play. On the other hand, if there's not enough defensive support, D1 should back off and take time to read the rush. Role of D2. Here, as the offside defenseman, D2's responsibility in the neutral zone is to stay in the middle lane. Not only should D2 be aware of an offensive threat wide, she should also be prepared to step up and make a play in the middle of the ice. Two-on-one. Against a two-on-one rush in the neutral zone, the defender should maintain middle positioning between the two attackers. By establishing an optimal gap with the puck carrier and maintaining skating speed, the defender attempts to delay the attack. As the play moves closer to the net, the defender should force the puck carrier wide into a poor shooting angle. Three-on-one. Here in a three-on-one, where the attackers have more options available, the defender plays a loose gap in the middle of the ice. The defender should eliminate the cross-ice pass and allow the goaltender to play the shooter. Two-on-two. Effectively defending against a two-on-two relies on great communication between D1 and D2. If the attackers cross in front of the defenders high outside the top of the circles, the defender closest to the puck calls for a switch. This communication tells the other defenseman to switch coverage to the attacker moving into his lane. If the attackers cross below the top of the circles, the defender closest to the puck carrier should pressure the puck and the second defenseman should sag to support the front of the net. Three-on-two. When defending against a three-on-two attack, the defenseman should hold up the offensive rush to allow the backchecker time to pick up the third attacker. So, maintaining optimal gap and deflecting the attack to the outside are keys to defending against the 3-on-2. One-on-two. When faced with a one-on-two attack, the defending team has the advantage. Here, knowing that there is additional defensive support, the defenseman closest to the puck steps up and forces the attacker to make a play. Three-on-three tracking. Against a 3-on-2 rush, a third defender should track back quickly through the middle to create a 3-on-3 situation. This tracking defender communicates with the defenseman and picks up the trailing forward to eliminate him as a passing option. Three-on-3 rush. When defending against a 3-on-3, the high defensive forward and both defensemen skate backward facing the rush. The defensive forward pressures the puck carrier to force a pass and a possible turnover.
Playing sound defense in the defensive zone begins with proper positioning of the defenders. Being aware of the players without the puck can be even more critical than paying attention to the puck carrier. Defenders must be prepared to pressure the puck in one-on-one situations and also provide support for the player covering the puck carrier. All players need to communicate and work together as a cohesive unit to effectively defend their own zone.
Role of D1. In the defensive zone, D1 is responsible for the puck carrier in the corner. Using her read and react skills, D1 determines whether to pressure or contain the puck carrier, depending upon his level of control. If the puck carrier passes the puck, the defender must stay between the puck carrier and the net. Role of D2. The primary role of the second defenseman, or D2, in the defensive zone is to hold the front of the net. D2 should have his feet facing up ice and his head on a swivel. If a pass comes in front of the net, D2 is responsible for playing the pass receiver. If the offensive team changes the point of attack, D2 should jump to the opposite corner and assume D1's role as first pressure on the puck. Role of F1. Here, F1's primary role in the defensive zone is to support D1 in the corner. By playing off the puck on the defensive side, F1 can take possession of a loose puck or support if D1 is beaten out of the corner. If the puck moves to the opposite corner, F1 tracks the play by crossing in front of the net to support D2. Role of F2. As the second forward back, F2 should back check to the high slot. Once in high slot coverage, F2 is responsible for the opposing defenseman furthest away from the puck. If the puck moves to the opposite side, F2 should slide and continue to be responsible for the player who has now become the strong side D. Role of F3. The third forward back, or F3, should track through the middle of the ice and cover the strong side defenseman. By positioning himself at the top of the face-off circle with his feet perpendicular to the boards, F3 can read the play in the corner and at the same time be ready to intercept a pass to the point. Puck carrier behind the net. If the puck carrier has good control behind the net, both defensemen should face the puck carrier. Here, D1 forces the puck carrier while D2 ensures that there is no opportunity on a wraparound. F1 picks up the net front forward, and F2 and F3 sag to pick up the third forward and backside D. Corner, into, out of. When playing the puck carrier or any offensive player into the corner, the defender should always take an inside-out route, skating in an arc below the circle. This move forces the play up the boards and away from the quiet zone behind the goal. Here, going back toward her own net, the defender maintains defensive side positioning, which is simply keeping her body between her man and the net. Net front. When checking an opposing player in front of the net, the defenseman should attempt to control the attacking player's body and stick without tying himself up. Here, the defenseman in front of the net faces up ice with his head on a swivel, always keeping track of where the puck is located. Point. As the puck moves high in the zone from one side to the other, the high forwards must be prepared to pressure the puck. Here, the forward with his head on a swivel maintains positioning between the puck and the board side defenseman. As the defenseman receives the pass, the forward moves to pressure the puck, taking an inside-out route. It is important to note that if a turnover is not created, the forward should stay with the defenseman on the defensive side to nullify the possibility of a return pass. Sideboards. When the offensive team has control of the puck on the sideboards, either D1 or F1 should contain the puck carrier. Now, in this case, D1 contains the non-puck carrier, eliminating him as a threat to the net, while F1 covers the puck carrier. The forward responsible for puck side point coverage, F2, sags to pressure, but should be aware of a potential pass to the point and be ready to eliminate it as an option. Hinge support, 2-on-2. When the offensive team is controlling the puck in the corner, D1 and F1 may choose to play a modified man-to-man. Each defender covers one of the corner attackers. If the puck is moved from one attacker to the other, the defensive team should utilize a hinge, where D1 sags to support F1. Three-on-three shade. Here, the net front defensive player moves to where the third offensive player is located. This shading limits the time and space that the third attacker has to maneuver if he receives a pass. Defending the cycle. The attacking team uses an offensive cycle to maintain puck control, confuse the defense, and look for a lane to the net. To avoid confusion, defenders on the cycle must communicate and maintain defensive side positioning. Here, the third forward jumps down low on the cycle, while D2 moves in to defend. D1 stays with the original puck carrier and returns to the front of the net on the defensive side. Activated defensemen. Both high forwards need to be aware of the possibility that an offensive defenseman at the point may activate to join the attack deep in the offensive zone. If the defenseman furthest from the puck moves toward the net looking for a backdoor pass, F2 should prevent the pass by sagging and playing the man to the net.
Hockey Canada has created the most extensive set of teaching resources I've ever seen. And as a player or coach, you can never know too much about the game. These DVDs will help give coaches, players, and parents an up-close look at the fundamental skills, tactics, and strategies of hockey. We all want to be the best we can be. And this set of DVDs from Hockey Canada will go a long way to helping everyone reach that goal.